The Waymo Safety Report in 2018 mentions that 1.2 million lives are lost to traffic crashes worldwide. And of all of those, 98% of them involve human error. In this presentation, we want to inform you about the significance of self-driving vehicles in the near future, as they have become an element of society we must be aware of, for they could bring great benefits to your attention. During this speech, we're going to talk to you about various topics, which include how they work, the levels of automation they're classified into, the safety they have, the benefits and drawbacks they could bring to the table, and finally, the impact they have in our way of living and on the automotive industry.
Let's begin with the basics. How do they work? For the most part, the automakers turn to these specialized firms and commission from the construction of sensors of the specialized wear software, so it works as a single entity. They are equipped with hardware that manages their functions and detect what happens on the four sides of the car. Those functions are considered the running process of the car, and it goes through a complex algorithm, and it manages things like the turn to the left or the right, the change lanes, the brake, when it accelerates, and it detects the surroundings of the car. So that's why it is so important.
In addition to this, one thing that isn't well known is that there are actually established levels of automatization. The Society of Automotive Engineers, known by its acronym SAE, reveals that there are actually 6 levels of automation, which range from level 0 to level 5. Let's begin with level 0. As its name implies, it means zero automation. It doesn't have any automotive assistance, but it can be equipped with cruise control and needs the human for all activities. Level 1 is what most modern vehicles are. The vehicle must have an advanced assistance feature, such as adaptive cruise control or active lane assist. Even so, it needs the driver and assistant is pretty basic. Level 2 means that the vehicle has 2 or more advanced systems, which can control either braking, steering, acceleration, or something like that. Although the human must always be attentive to his surroundings. Level 3 is reached when the automation is a lot more noticeable compared to the previous one. The software can take control of the car in some areas, such as highways, but cannot merge into other lanes where the person must do it. At level 4, the vehicle can make complete journeys without human intervention, but is confined to a certain geographical area or under a certain speed limit. And finally, we have level 5, where human intervention is no longer required at all. This level is, of course, the goal of companies that develop autonomous vehicles. Although there is currently no vehicle that reaches this level right now, the closest to achieving this is a vehicle being manufactured by General Motors.
Equally important, one of the main concerns for this new generation of cars is safety. Surprisingly, compared to regular cars, Google's self-driving car prototype, Waymo statistics show that it has a chance of having an accident 10 times less than those considered good drivers, and 40 times less than those considered below average drivers. This derived from the fact that Waymo has only one accident while already having traveled 8 million miles. To this already low chance of crash, we can add the possibility of eliminating accidents caused by the effects of alcohol, sleep deprivation, or distractions. And in 2013, the Tesla Model S gained 5 stars in all the evaluated areas according to the National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration, and getting the highest overall safety rating ever. So, you tell me, why not take them into account when looking to buy a new car? Furthermore, some people enjoy driving, but some may not. Self-driving cars will appeal to a certain type of car owner. But the thing is that some that prefer to drive will not be that good on those cars, but some that don't like driving will be great. So before the future comes, while self-driving cars are a common sight on the roads, we will list here some of the main benefits of these cars.
The first benefit is saving money. As the number of accidents is reduced, fewer people will be injured and fewer vehicles will be damaged. As a result, insurance rates should also drop. Second, being able to multitask when you're being driven by a self-driving car is a big deal. You will be able to do other things while traveling. For example, you could eat, you could sleep, you could chat, do homework, maybe even change clothes if you're in a rush while you're on your way to your destination. Your travel time will no longer be idle time. And finally, independence. At some point in our lives, we can no longer drive on our own. However, if we own a self-driving vehicle, we could still commute to places without the need of a driver.
On the other hand, the main drawbacks for these types of vehicles are 3, starting with additional parts that are designed by humans. So this is a thing: radars, cameras, sensors, and the likes that have been around for some time and considered reliable tech today, but they cannot expect this to run 25,000 kilometers a year for more than a decade. Self-driving cars will require a proper servicing, and without control of the vehicle, technology failure can be quite dangerous. Higher cost. Self-driving cars have a higher initial cost than regular cars. High-tech innovations cost a lot of money, so Tesla and other self-driving car manufacturers have to price them accordingly.
The third one is driving enthusiast. Some people enjoy getting behind the wheel. If they're not driving the car, it may take out the fun they feel while driving. Autonomous cars are a useful travel device, and for some people, it is an ideal solution. However, it may not offer the same kind of freedom as a regular car. Finally, we ought to consider the impact they have on our future and of way of living. We're going to mention 4 areas in which these cars will have an effect.
Those self-driving cars will communicate with each other, as well as with nearby road signs and with the construction equipment, not forgetting about the smart roads. They will drive with caution, and this is why very few accidents have occurred. In the near future, when most of the vehicles are self-driving, traffic will flow like a fish in the water. Because of this, cars will not be caught in traffic jams or unnecessary braking, such as the sleep-deprived one. People will not cut into the lanes, as happen nowadays. So overall, it will be less time spent on commuting, offering greater mobility in general. Affordability is such a thing in this current time, so this is why Google Waymo's chief engineer said by 2030 it is expected that 70% of all vehicles worldwide have self-driving capability. So probably the first cars of the new generation will be completely autonomous. The cost of the technology that transforms regular car into self-driving one adds around $50,000 to the price tag, but it is expected to drop around $8,000 in a few years. Environment is something that we have to take care of, and autonomous cars are such a thing with it because they use electric and not fossil fuel. This is so important, and apart from this fact, they are so safe that they will need less materials or lighter materials, this way reducing the cost of the product and also the residual things for the mother nature.
Automotive industry. Although the automotive industry has become the very symbol of mass production, this new trend of self-driving cars will not only affect it, but also the technological and service providers industries. So if the same industries goes and makes products that help the environment, improve the quality of life, do it in a sustainable way, such as self-driving vehicles, and the final consumer can afford it, other industries will fall in line, just as they have begun to do. As we can see in the photo, a great variety of existing industries have become incorporated into a trend of autonomous cars.
To conclude, now that this presentation is done, hopefully you can now assess the self-driving car's significance in the near future and how they will change our lives. Remember that self-driving cars have a very low crash rate when compared to human-operated vehicles. The benefits they bring outweigh the drawbacks they could have. And while they are complex to build, and right now it might not be affordable to everyone, in the near future they will become available to a greater number of drivers. We are going to wrap up with a quote from Elon Musk. Self-driving cars are the natural extension of active safety and obviously something we think we should do. Thank you everyone for your attention.